In 1980, Arnold Schwarzenegger stunned the world by announcing his comeback in the Mr. Olympia contest, only to be met with shock, outrage, and even accusations of stealing the title. This unprecedented victory has left fans and competitors questioning the legitimacy of the results, sparking one of the biggest controversies in bodybuilding history. How did Arnold rise to triumph despite his questionable conditioning? Get ready to delve deep into the heated events of the 1980 Mr. Olympia, as we uncover the secrets and controversies behind Arnold's most controversial win. Let's first dive into Arnold's bodybuilding history for context. Arnold Schwarzenegger's rise to fame in the late 1960s and early 1970s was meteoric. He quickly became one of the most well-known and admired bodybuilders of his time. Arnold's story begins in the 1960s when he moved from Austria to the United States. It was during this time that he started to make a name for himself as a talented bodybuilder. Arnold's fame really took off in 1977 when he appeared in the documentary film Pumping Iron. This film followed Arnold and other top bodybuilders as they prepared for the 1975 Mr. Olympia contest. The movie showcased Arnold's dedication and intense training regimen, and it quickly became a cult classic. Arnold's confidence, charisma, and powerful physique made him a fan favorite. This movie played a huge role in bringing bodybuilding into the mainstream and made Arnold a household name. During the years 1970 to 1975, Arnold's dominance in the sport was unmatched. He won the prestigious Mr. Olympia title 6 times in a row. Arnold was known for his incredible physique, unmatched work ethic, and intense focus on his goals. However, after his 6th win in 1975, he announced his retirement from bodybuilding. Arnold wanted to focus on his budding movie career, and his first big role was in the film Conan the Barbarian. The movie was a hit, and Arnold's acting career took off. After Arnold Schwarzenegger's retirement in 1975, the world of bodybuilding entered a new era. Several new champions and competitors stepped into the spotlight, eager to prove themselves. With Arnold's departure, the bodybuilding world was ready for a fresh start and a new direction. One of the most prominent bodybuilders who emerged during this time was Frank Zane. Unlike the massive, bulkier physiques that had been popular before, Zane was known for his refined and sculpted figure. He focused on symmetry and aesthetics, emphasizing proportion and balance over sheer size. Zane's approach represented a shift in the ideal physique, and he won the Mr. Olympia title 3 times in 1977, 1978, and 1979. Another major figure in the post-Arnold era was Mike Mentzer. Mentzer brought a unique perspective to bodybuilding with his heavy-duty training philosophy. He argued that short, intense workouts were more effective than longer, less intense sessions. Mentzer's approach was controversial, but it attracted a following and influenced a new generation of bodybuilders. As these new champions emerged, the bodybuilding community began to change. The competition got tougher, and athletes pushed themselves to new limits. While Zane and Mentzer were successful, they faced stiff competition from other talented bodybuilders. The standards for what was considered an ideal physique were evolving, and competitors had to adapt to keep up. In this era, bodybuilders began to experiment with different training methods, diets, and supplements. The pursuit of perfection became more intense, and the sport of bodybuilding entered a new, exciting phase. But why did Arnold decide to return to bodybuilding? In the late 1970s, Arnold began training for his role in the upcoming film Conan the Barbarian. To prepare for the role, he started intensive workouts to regain the muscle mass and physique that had made him famous. As Arnold trained for the movie, his old training partners, including Franco Columbu, saw the progress he was making. They were amazed by his transformation and encouraged him to compete in bodybuilding again. Despite his busy acting career, the idea of returning to the stage began to intrigue Arnold. In 1980, the Mr. Olympia contest was scheduled to take place in Sydney, Australia. Arnold was initially slated to attend the competition as a commentator, not a competitor. He flew to Australia with this intention in mind, but after arriving, he shocked everyone by announcing that he would compete in the event. This last-minute decision was a surprise to the organizers, fellow competitors, and fans alike. The reactions from other competitors were mixed. Some were excited to compete against the legendary bodybuilder, while others were concerned that Arnold's presence would overshadow their efforts. Many had been preparing for months or even years for this competition, and felt that Arnold's last-minute entry was unfair. As news of Arnold's decision spread, the bodybuilding community buzzed with anticipation. It was an unprecedented situation. A former champion and current Hollywood star returning to compete after a 5-year hiatus. Fans couldn't wait to see how Arnold would perform, while competitors braced themselves for the challenge. Arnold's arrival in Australia and the announcement of his participation in the competition were both unexpected and controversial. The sudden shift in attention towards him made some competitors feel overlooked and frustrated. The other bodybuilders had trained rigorously for this competition, and now they found themselves in the shadow of Arnold's unexpected return. This 1980 Mr. Olympia competition would go down in history as one of the most controversial events in the sport of bodybuilding. Arnold's decision to compete again was unexpected and had significant implications for the other competitors and the entire bodybuilding community. The stage was set for a showdown that would be remembered for years to come.
All right, here we jump to Sydney, Australia. This is the pre-judging: Chris Dickerson, Platts, Dennis Tinerino.
At the 1980 Mr. Olympia competition, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the center of attention. His behavior during the contest was that of a seasoned professional. He showcased his muscular physique with confidence and charisma. As he posed on stage, he interacted with the audience, flexing his muscles and smiling at the cheering fans. Arnold knew how to work the crowd, and he used his charm and presence to his advantage. The audience's reaction to Arnold's return was overwhelmingly positive. Many fans had missed seeing him on the bodybuilding stage and were thrilled to have him back. The energy in the room was electric, and the crowd roared with excitement whenever Arnold stepped onto the stage. His presence brought a level of excitement and enthusiasm to the competition that hadn't been seen in years. As the competition progressed, it became clear that Arnold was a strong contender for the title, despite some people believing he wasn't ready. Many were surprised at how well he was doing, considering he had only recently started training again for his movie role. Even though his physique may not have been at its peak, his experience and stage presence made up for it. As the final round of the competition approached, the excitement in the room was palpable. The remaining competitors were all exceptional bodybuilders, and it was anyone's game. When it came down to the final 2 competitors, everyone was shocked to see Arnold among them. He had managed to outshine many younger, more prepared competitors, and was now one step away from potentially winning his 7th Mr. Olympia title. The 1980 Mr. Olympia competition had come to an end, and the world waited with bated breath to hear who would be declared the winner. When Arnold Schwarzenegger's name was announced, the crowd was divided. Some cheered in support, while others booed in disbelief. The decision was met with outrage from fans, competitors, and the media elite.
The only people who saw Arnold as the winner, 7 judges and his closest friends. None of the audience, or very few, only those that were his friends.
Many believed that Arnold's victory was unfair. They felt that he wasn't in his best shape and had been given special treatment because of his fame. Other competitors were also upset about the outcome. They had trained hard and felt that they deserved a fair chance at winning the title. The media jumped on the controversy, questioning the integrity of the judging and suggesting that the competition was rigged in Arnold's favor. These accusations put a strain on Arnold's reputation as a fair and deserving winner. The negative publicity also affected CBS, the television network that had broadcast the competition. Many people thought that CBS had influenced the results because they had a business relationship with Arnold. This led to a loss of trust in the network and a break in their partnership with the Olympia competition. The controversy also had a significant impact on other competitors' decisions. Some bodybuilders, feeling disheartened by what they saw as an unfair competition, chose not to participate in future Olympia contests. They didn't want to put in the effort only to be overlooked in favor of more famous competitors. Mike Menser was especially devastated. Mike had obtained the perfect score of 300 during the contest in the previous year. No bodybuilder to this date has achieved a perfect score of 300. Menser only finished 5th in 1980 and decided to retire from professional bodybuilding. Many fans and experts argue that he should have won the competition. They believed that Arnold Schwarzenegger had won unfairly. There were rumors that Arnold had a special relationship with the judges and the organizers of the competition. People thought that these connections had helped him win. The International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness, IFBB, the group that organizes the Mr. Olympia competition, knew they had to do something. They did not want people to lose trust in the competition. So, the IFBB made some changes to the way they chose judges and how the competition was judged. They hoped that these changes would make the competition more fair and stop people from thinking it was biased. Looking back at the 1980 competition, it is clear that Arnold Schwarzenegger had a big impact on bodybuilding. He was one of the most famous bodybuilders in the world, and he brought a lot of attention to the sport. Even though his win in 1980 was controversial, it is impossible to deny that he helped make bodybuilding more popular. One of the reasons Arnold was so successful was because of his charisma. He was charming and confident, and people loved to watch him. His personality made him stand out from other bodybuilders. This charisma may have also played a role in his controversial victory in 1980. People liked him and wanted to see him win, even if he was not in his best shape.